Hi, I'm Neil from Wild Elements. The topic you're studying this term is close to home. In these 3 lessons, we're going to be looking at some famous people from Rhyl. 1 or 2 you will probably have heard of, 1 or 2 you'll have to ask some oldies, and some of them I bet will have gone unnoticed by most of the people of Rhyl. They all have their own stories and talents. We're going to go back in time to when people were famous for having an actual talent. They weren't famous just because they starred on some reality TV show or had plastic surgery or married a footballer, although one of them did appear on a couple of reality TV shows, but that's a different matter. Anyway, we'll begin by looking at some musicians from Rhyl who made a mark in the music industry. I bet you won't have heard of them. We'll look at Mike Peters from a group called The Alarm. Check out the YouTube links to hear what they sounded like. I've also included a link to a video of a famous punk band so you can hear what sort of music inspired them in their early days. I wonder what you'll make of it. Lots of people move away from the place they grew up when they become famous. I know I did. But interestingly, Mike Peters still lives in Dysyth. You'll then look at a guy called Steve Strange. His group, Visage, had some success with a song you'll never have heard of, but again, you can check it out on YouTube. They were part of a music scene called the New Romantics. I wonder if it'll ever come back into fashion. I'll let you decide. Next, you'll learn a little bit about an artist called Lisa Scott Lee. She was part of a group called Steps. I'd like you to explore some different genres of music and perhaps choose one that you don't know much about. You'll get to invent your own band and artist names and design the cover of your first album. In the second lesson, we'll look at some local writers who I'm pretty certain you won't have heard of. Myfanwy Price and Penelope Ruth Mortimer produced their work in our dim and distant past, but Nathan Pendleton is still going strong and appears to be a man of many talents. You'll get a chance to tell your own tale of life in lockdown. Will you describe your feelings, being isolated from friends and family? Or have you developed a new interest or made a new discovery? Perhaps you'll record a typical day in lockdown. Despite us looking at writers, I'd encourage you to tell your story in a way that suits you best. They say a picture paints 1,000 words. Or you may prefer to write a song or poem, or write a blog, or make a vlog or podcast. It's entirely up to you. Finally, in lesson 3, we'll look at some local folk who made their name on TV and film. If you can, check out the YouTube links to see some of their work. I'd like you to finish this lesson by thinking about the things that you're passionate about. And if you could do absolutely anything in the world, what would you really love to do when you leave school? Is there anything that you could do now, any small steps you could take to help you get there? Anyway, have fun, learn lots, and good luck.